Hey guys from the Thoughtful Gardener, I wanted to create a very simple, wonderful holiday gift that will be cherished by you or your friends and family this holiday season. The first thing you're going to want to do is gather up a container to put your gift in. Now I found these super cute little wooden boxes at Target for $5, super reasonable. And then I'm repurposing some leftover garden containers. I washed these out with hot soapy water. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a coffee filter to go in the bottom of this so that the soil doesn't leak out of the container. That's why I use coffee filters. I had somebody ask me that recently, so just want to clarify. There are no bad questions on this channel, by the way, as long as they're related to gardening, okay? And then what I did to line this basket is I got some tablecloths. These are just vinyl tablecloths. You could use Christmas wrapping paper, like a really pretty foil. That would be another way to do this. But again, I was just trying to make it look a little Christmassy. So I'm gonna cut this out. So what I've done is unfolded my little tablecloth and I'm just going to cut on the line. I will tell you I'm a left-handed gardener. So my scissor skills are not the best. Sorry, Mrs. Robinson. I was not good at it in kindergarten. I'm still not good at it because, let's face it, folks, it's a right-handed world and scissors are not made for left-handed people unless you buy left-handed scissors. But that's okay. And then we're just gonna unfold this. Now, because this was folded up, I have a really long sheet here. That's important because we wanna line this and I probably will have enough to do a second one. Okay, so I've got my liner in there and it's overhanging, which is exactly the look I was going for. And now we're going to put some soil into the container. Now, these particular containers are going to be used for a style of garden called lasagna bulb gardening. Now, I've been chilling these bulbs out in my garage for a bunch of weeks on purpose because I knew I was going to do this activity. I've got a girls' party tonight. All my girlfriends are getting together for a Christmas dinner, which is going to be really fun. So I've got my potting soil here. You want to use potting soil because this is a soil-less mixture. It really should be called potting mix. I prefer the Pro Mix blend because it has my Cordyceps fungi, which I find that my plants just go completely crazy for. So we're not going to fill this container all the way up. What we're going to do is we're only going to fill it partially up because we're going to be layering our bulbs like lasagna, thus the layering. So I've put about 1/3 of this container soil in so far and basically covered up my coffee filter if you want to know how far down we are in this container. And the thing you're going to do is you're going to find your biggest bulb first. Now these are tulip bulbs and you can see they have a little pointy end. You can even see that it's starting to grow because I've had it in my garage, which is unheated, by the way. If you're doing this, you want chilled bulbs. So you may need to work with your garden center. I buy chilled paper whites from my garden center because I know they're just the right time for Christmas. But in this particular case, I've got tulip bulbs that are left over from my planting. And we're just going to put 4 of those in this container. Now, if you have a smaller container, you may need to put less. So 3 could also be an option for you. So we've got those 4 nestled in there, pointy ends up. We're gonna cover them up. So now we're about 2/3 full. So the next bulb that we're going to use is our hyacinths. Now these are smaller, so if you think about lasagna gardening, this is what we're going to do. Big bulbs on the bottom and then smaller than smaller. I have 4 different types of bulbs here. I have tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, and little alliums. So I'm going to use a combination of all of them. So they're going to bloom at different times. So this is a beautiful way to give someone flowers over a period of time. And they're going to be enjoying these during the season when things are not blooming. I have a cat that would like some treats. I'm going to do a short kitty break so we can feed the cat. She just wanted these treats, and I get these at Trader Joe's. They are addicted to these Bench and Field treats. I don't receive anything from Bench and Field, but my cats love your treats. Like, I probably make your stock price go up. Okay, but back to our video. So we're just gonna nestle in those bulbs opposite of where we just put the last ones. Because if you think about it, what we want are the bulbs to come up around one another, right? So we've got these all nestled down in there, and now we're gonna go and top that with some hyacinths. All right, so we've got those covered up, and now our little tiny hyacinths. Okay, so we're done with this one, and we're gonna do the next one. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, and I'm going to put the alliums in the next version. Now, alliums are part of the garlic family, and they come in all different sizes, which is really fun. Some are relatively small, and some are relatively larger. Now, what I will tell you about alliums is they get pretty leggy and tall, and so they're going to want to flop. So I'm probably going to plant them slightly lower than I would normally do a tiny bulb. In this particular case, they are saying that they should be 4 inches deep. So you want to keep that in mind when you are planting your bulbs. You want to be mindful of that. I actually have gardening tools that have measuring on it, but if you don't, you can always take a tape measure and a marking pen and mark the inches on your digging tool. I know how much this is, so I can eyeball it, but for beginner gardeners, this is a great way, and it's something I've done on my shovels over the years, as well as other gardening tools, just to make it easy on myself. So let's do the next one. So we've got this one about 1/3 full. The coffee filter's mostly cleared up. So we're gonna go with the big bulbs again on the bottom, which is our tulips. And then this one, we're going to use the daffodils again, and then we're going to go with the alliums. These alliums are teeny tiny and the size of a marble. So just caution if you have animals in your house that eat things. Fortunately, I'm really fortunate. My cats really just chew on cat grass. They don't chew on my plants. But some dogs and cats should not be around bulbs. If they are ones that like to chew, I would not recommend this activity. And you might want to keep that in mind too if you're giving it to a friend who has a pet. Okay, we've got it all sorted in there, so now time to cover it up. So if you're giving this to a non-gardening friend, you probably need to give them some instructions. We definitely want to treat this as if it was going to be outside, which means that the soil really shouldn't be sopping wet, but it shouldn't be bone dry either. And this is going bone dry because I'm giving it out as a present tonight. But I'm going to tell my friends that they're going to need to give it a drink when it gets home, to give it a good spray of water, but let the water run out and then wait till it goes dry again. Now you'll start to see growth. I'm already starting to see growth in these bulbs because they've been stored out in my garage. So if you tell your friends, this is a lesson in patience. Some of them, if you're picking things like amaryllis or paperweights, they may be ready to go. They may have been pre-chilled. If you're chilling them, you may have to actually chill them for several months. Read the package. Certainly the larger the bulb, it may take longer time, but because they've been stored properly in my garage, which is unheated, they're already starting to sprout because they think it's spring out there. So I hope this is a helpful and fun activity. We'll take some pictures of what it looks like in the end. Garden thoughtfully and take care.